Hi, welcome to Global One Media. Today I'm joined by Patrick Donnelly, who's the president and CEO of E79 Resources, a company focused on exploring for Fosterville-type gold mineralization at its Beaufort and Myrtleford properties in the Victorian Goldfields in Australia. Hi, Patrick. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
So, to start off, could you give us a brief overview of yourself and of the company?
Sure, absolutely. My background is I spent over 10 years as an exploration geologist, mostly in Northern Canada, British Columbia, Northern Ontario, Yukon, Nunavut, Northwest Territories. And I also spent some time as a mining analyst in Toronto, covering mostly base metal equities. And then for the last 10 years or so, I've been on the corporate side. I did co-found a gold company a few years ago, and most recently I was with Trilogy Metals, which is developing a base metals asset up in Alaska. And I was approached by the principals of E79 just last spring, and I never even heard of the story before. And when I saw their really exciting exploration results and the fact that they're an incredible jurisdiction, it was something that really, really interested me. And as I mentioned before, my background is in exploration. It's something I find very, very exciting. And I thought this is a really compelling story, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I joined last May.
Excellent. So that being said, what can you tell us about the company's unique story and
Sure.
what is it that's so particular about your two goldfield properties in Australia?
Yeah, what's really interesting is, Beaufort and Myrtleford, they're in the heart of the Victorian Goldfields. And just a bit of background, this area was there was gold discovered in, I'd say it was in the mid 1800s.
Right.
And there was quite a bit of mining activities, mostly small scale artisanal mining. And originally it was in the alluvial material. And then eventually they were, the old timers were focusing on the near surface high grade veins. And just to give you an example, Myrtleford, they pulled out over 5 million ounces of gold from the alluvial material and from the veins. So, this is an area that's had a substantial amount of activity, and it all ceased in World War I, where all the young men left Australia, went to fight in the war, and nobody ever went back. And what's really interesting, all this work, they were merely just scratching the surface. They never went below the water table. The deepest they went was about 30 feet. And so we acquired these properties about 2 years ago, and there's been no modern exploration done on these properties. And obviously, one thing I learned a long time ago, when I was a geology student, is the best place to look for a mine is within the shadow of a head frame. So, this is an area that's had produced incredible amount of gold. The Fosterville mine, obviously, has been an incredible success for the, Newmarket, Kirkland Lake Gold, and now Nico operates it. And I actually was just in Australia in June and had the opportunity to visit the Fosterville mine. And I was really, really blown away by the fact that, it wasn't a great mine for a long time. It was, it was not, it was running about 4 grams a ton. It was very metallurgically challenging. And then, in 2016, they discovered a swan zone, which was high grade coarse gold. And it just blew my mind away. And we're in the same area as that mine. So it's an area, the properties we have, it's produced a lot of historical gold, very shallow, and again, within the Fosterville area. And we're well financed and have an incredible team on the ground. I spent some time with our team in Australia, and I came away very, very confident in their ability to discover more gold.
Very interesting. Thanks for sharing that. So also, you recently released very exciting results from your drilling program at your Twist Creek prospect. Could you tell us a bit more about your findings?
Yeah, absolutely. Myrtleford's a very large property. It's over 40 kilometers long. Our initial success was at Happy Valley. Our third hole, we hit 11 meters or 160 grams. and we raised a bunch of money just over a year ago. So we decided, okay, we'll keep doing the work at Happy Valley, but let's go up to Twist Creek. And one reason we like Twist Creek, because there's numerous areas that have been you know, where there was gold recovered. And so we drilled some of these reefs, and we hit some really good grades at Scandinavian. And we put out those results a couple of weeks ago. So again, multi-gram, up to, 10, 20, 30 grams per ton of material we are discovering at very, very shallow depths. So there's dozens of reefs in the area, dozens of showings. They're all near surface. And what's really interesting is nobody's drilled any drill holes in that area at all. All the work has been done at surface. So the goal is to chase these structures and these veins at depth to see if we can find another Fosterville-type deposit. What's interesting about Fosterville, again, is because it's so high grade, the average grade is over an ounce. You don't need much material to pull together a really nice resource. So again, we got 7 kilometers of strike length in the Twist Creek area, numerous showings, and we got more drilling results coming out very soon from the Twist Creek area, and I expect those to be also exciting.
Right. So those findings are at above 200 meters in depth. Do you expect to find high-grade mineralization at deeper layers? And are you able to share more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. For example, I mentioned Happy Valley, and we just recently finished this current round of drilling at Happy Valley, and it's completely open to depth. And it's interesting. I spent quite a bit of time with our geologists, and the gold mineralization it is sourced at depth. It actually comes from these deep-seated structures that go over 100 kilometers in depth. We're not going to go 100 kilometers, but certainly they are open at depth. And I think there's absolute good probabilities that as we drill deeper holes, we're going to find some more high-grade mineralization. So again, I think we're just scratching the surface. We haven't been drilling super deep. I think our deepest hole is maybe 600 meters. These things are completely open. And eventually we'll go in there and drill some deeper holes to keep chasing this mineralization. I think the strategy right now is we have so many areas at surface that have high-grade gold. And when I mean high-grade, I mean like 10, 20, 30 over an ounce of gold at surface. And so we have dozens and dozens of areas that have high-grade gold at surface. We want to get those out of the way first. And then eventually at some point we will go deeper, but we don't need to. We got Happy Valley, we got Twist Creek, and we got another area that we haven't talked about yet called Magpie, which also has numerous high-grade showings at surface, and again at Myrtleford. And then in Beaufort, we're just starting to get ourselves sorted out with that property as well. Again, I was just there in June, and there's numerous showings and workings at surface all over the place. A lot of alluvial gold was recovered. And again, no modern exploration has been done ever on this property. So again, at some point, hopefully in the next few months, we'll start drilling in there as well. So there's no shortage of projects. There's no shortage of gold. We have no problems finding gold. I have no problems finding high-grade gold. It's just trying to find concentrations or tonnages of material where we can put together a resource. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Excellent.
So as a last question, what factors do you think will help E79 outperform the market, and what exciting developments should investors be looking out for in the coming months?
Well, we're sitting on $6 million in cash. And the nice thing is about drilling in the state of Victoria is all our projects are accessible by road. We're short draw, for example, at Myrtleford, we're about a 20-minute drive from our office in Beechworth. So the point is our drilling costs are relatively low. And, you don't need helicopters, you don't need camps, and all our costs are in Australian dollars. And so that's a huge advantage. We get a lot of bang for the buck for our drilling. And also, again, I think we're just scratching the surface with the drilling. We've only been drilling for just over a year now, and most of the time it's just been with one drill. We got dozens and dozens and dozens of areas that have high-grade gold at surface that have not been drilled. So the goal is to drill all that, and we will have lots of news going forward. We're putting out a steady stream of drilling results. We're going to keep on going with the drilling. The other thing is, I only joined this company in May, and they didn't have any leadership for quite a while. It was almost 6 months, 6 or 7 months, where they didn't have any leadership. And so it's a story that it's not very well known in the market. So I'll just give an example. When the board of directors approached me last spring, they said, "Hey, have you heard of E79?" I'm like, "What the heck is that?" And I consider myself a pretty knowledgeable guy. I've been in the industry now for about 30 years. I'm a geologist. I'm a former mining analyst. And I'm like, I never heard of this story. And so it's funny, I've been introducing this story to a lot of my contacts and friends and acquaintances. And they've been like, E79, what the heck is that, Pat? And I'm like, it's this great story that's just been flying under the radar. And so the goal is this fall is to keep drilling, but I'm also going to be hitting the road quite a bit. I'll be at all the conferences. I'll be at the Precious Metals Summit at Beaver Creek. I'll be in Europe. I'll be in Toronto. I'll be in New York. I'll be in Frankfurt. I'll be in Zurich, just talking about the story. So, we did a fight. We got some great shareholders. We got Eric Sprott in there. We got Frank Holmes is a shareholder at US Global. Tobias Treader is in there from Commodity Fund. And so we have very, very strong institutional shareholders in here. And, we raised about $6 million at $1 per share. Right now, we're trading at 20 cents. And our market cap is around 13 million, and we got 6 million in cash. So again, tremendous opportunity, super cheap. I've been buying the stock, and this is a great story. And in a great jurisdiction, in a great country. And so it has all the ingredients to be a very, very successful story. And so, like I said, I'll be out on the road quite a bit this fall talking about it. I'm very, very excited and appreciate the opportunity to represent the company.
Yeah, no, that's a very exciting story. We very much look forward to following the next updates from E79 Resources. So thanks a lot, Patrick, for your time today.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate the time.